September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and two women connected by the gift of life got to meet for the first time. Reporter Dick Brennan has their story.
There were hugs and gratitude as Shatira Weaver met Christine Van Benschoten, the woman who donated blood for her life-saving treatment.
I am extremely and inexplicably grateful for you and everyone, and I implore other people to join the ranks and get to donate blood.
According to the CDC, 100,000 Americans live with sickle cell. The disorder affects mostly African Americans. It causes some red blood cells to become deformed into a sickle shape and die. Those cells clog the blood flow and can lead to infections or strokes. Patients like Weaver rely on blood transfusions to stay healthy.
It is what gives me my strength back. It revitalizes me, and then I can get back to my life when that happens. So it really is interesting to see the person meet the person. That's never happened before, so it's a surreal moment.
Van Benschoten says she started donating blood regularly years ago.
It's a chance to show that little old 72-year-old ladies can get out and donate.
The moment the two met was emotional for Carlene Darby, who collected the life-saving donation.
It's just overwhelming and heart-rending.
And Van Benschoten wants everyone to know that donating is easy. Dick Brennan, CBS News, New York.
Sickle cell disease occurs among about 1 out of every 365 Black or African American births, according to the CDC. Drug makers Biogen and Eisai say a monoclonal antibody treatment for Alzheimer's disease showed the progression of cognitive decline by 27% compared with the placebo. The drug showed positive effects on cognition and the ability to perform everyday tasks compared to the placebo, and also showed target engagement with reduced levels of amyloid, a protein that is one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's. The companies plan to publish the findings and present data in order to seek approval from U.S. regulators, and they plan to do so by the end of March. Up next on Valley News Live at 5, how one major toy maker is diversifying a very popular line of dolls.